Okay, everyone, so we are back for episode 6, and we're gonna do another Python guide. And today we're gonna mostly talk about libraries and subroutines. So, that's what we're gonna do in today's episode. And of course, I'll give you a challenge at the end because gotta actually practice to actually get good at coding. So, I think we should get on with it. So, what we will be doing today and what we will be starting with is something called libraries. And basically, what libraries are is you're using somebody else's code as your own. It's you always have to use this syntax. You always have to use import. And today we're going to mostly focus on the library random. And basically, what this will do is it's going to import the code of random because someone behind the scenes has already coded this code called random. And what this random code does is it will generate a random number. And these are normally used for like video games, so um, just so there's less code to use, and especially when there's more, it's more known code that is normally used frequently. That's what like libraries will be. Um, that's what they'll tend to be. So we'll use random today, and I'll talk you through how to use random, and I think we should get on with it then. So we're going to import random, and we're going to use the syntax of we'll create a variable called my number, and then we'll go, let me see how, we'll do random. We'll add the library random. And then how Python does stuff is you put a decimal and then you'll do randint. And basically what this will do is, that's just the syntax for it. And inside the brackets we'll have two parameters. And the parameters will be, what we'll have is, let's say we want to make like let's name this roller dice. We're gonna comment it out. If I haven't mentioned, by the way, if you ever want to like just type something without it actually getting compiled, just put a hashtag before it and it won't run. It'll just skip and it'll go straight to the next line. But anyways, we'll start with, because we want to do dice, a dice has 6 sides, correct? We're gonna do 1 to 6. And what this will do is we'll create a variable, and it's gonna do a random integer in between 1 and 6 inclusive. So yeah, and then there won't be any need for semicolons, so you just go there and then say you want to do print, don't know why I indented, print my number. So what this will do is when we run it, it's going to give us a random number between 1 and 6. Boom. And we can just spam it, 6, 6, 4, 5, 6, 2, 5. And yeah, so we got this down, and I've showed you how it actually works. And now I don't think there's anything else for that. Of course there's more libraries, but I'll show you guys more about that later on, and I'll just carry on adding new libraries as we go along the series. But I think now is a good time to show you guys how to do subroutines. And basically what a subroutine is, let's start with this. Say you had like a lengthy piece of code and your code is just all in one spot. Like I do most of my coding in C, but with C you have int main, and then you have like say void. That's just like an empty parameter, don't worry about this. But this is like the main, this is where the main program would be, and then you'd have other like int, Cassian, void, and then int, Corolla void, and then you have it like that, and then you put it inside the actual main program. Okay, apart from that, that's not Python syntax, but that was, if that made sense, that made sense, but I'll repeat it again in Python terms. So we'll keep import random here because we're going to use it inside our subroutine, and basically what a subroutine does is you just make it look cleaner. So you name a subroutine and it doesn't actually run. When you press run, it doesn't actually run. You just make a part of the program into, you'll write the code under one headline, and when you call that headline, that's when that code will run. So I'll show you in a second. Let me show you now. So let me show you. So the syntax for a function or subroutine is called def. So you always want to have def, and then let's do it with my name. We'll do def Cassian. Actually no, we'll do like roll dice. Do it like that. Make it nice. And basically this will be the name of your function, and then you can have parameters, and of course colon. And basically what you can do here is you don't actually have to have any parameters or arguments inside of your function. You can just leave it blank and it will work perfectly fine. But later on in the series I'll show you how to use arguments inside of the function, because realistically when you want to get into the higher level of code you want to put arguments inside. But apart from that, we don't need it right now because we're just teaching you guys the basics. But that's basically, and then you just always want to have it indented, and then say you want to do print hello world, and then look, let me show you what I meant by it doesn't actually, if I press run it won't actually print anything because we haven't called roll dice yet. Boom, nothing happens. But if I do this, roll dice, boom, because we've actually called it. And this is very useful for when I want to have more functions. So I'll have like multiple, and then I'll have my main program down here where I'll type my main program, and I can just call these individual functions to make my main program look nicer and neater and less messy. Because especially when you're going to get into the programming world, and if you want to become like a software engineer, you'll be working as teams, and if you just make your code really messy, it's going to be really hard to for your peers to understand what you're doing. So it helps a lot. And you always want to have your name as something like very irrelevant. You don't want to just have like cupcakes and it being about tigers, because the other guy's not going to know what you want to do. So I'm going to take this import and I'm going to put it inside because it's outside its range. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do import random, and then we're going to do so we're going to do dice equals random again. We're going to put the library random in, randint because that's the syntax. I'm going to do 1 to 6 because that's the amount of sides. Of course you can do like a 12-sided dice or whatever, but we stick to a normal sided dice. And then we can do print you have rolled a, and then we can do this, and then we can do this like I showed you in the previous videos of how to use a variable and a string together. And this of course will do nothing. Oh, what have we done here? My bad, guys. There you go. This will do nothing, but say now if I call the function roll dice, you have rolled a 1, you have rolled a 4, you have rolled a 5. And of course, if you want to do like whiles and for loops, you can also do that. Let me show you how you'll do that. How do we want to do this? We can just do, let me show you how you do. So this will be my mini program of what's it called? This will be my mini program, this will be my main. Down here on line 12 will be my main program. So what I could do is I can do for I in range, and I can do say 100. We don't do 100. We'll do 10. So it'll loop not 4 times, 10 times, and it'll go through roll dice 10 times. So this is how it's gonna go. Oh, guys, we need to do the syntax. There you go, and then you've rolled 10 times, and that's the odds. And I think that's about it for this week, because it's basic. What I've taught you guys is basic, but it's very important, and I'll ask you guys to write another piece of code using this and implementing everything else that we've done in the past 5 episodes. So let's get on with the challenge. So in this week, in episode 6's challenge, I'm gonna ask you guys to create a subroutine with both a username and password. So I would like you guys to have, when you log into your computers or laptops, you'll have when you log into Google, you have username equals and username, and then you type in that, and it will ask you for your password as well. I'd basically just want you guys to have like one of these, and then you just create a loop to prompt the user again and again until they put in the correct login information. So I'll leave you guys up to it. I don't really want to spoil it, because if I spoil it, I pretty much give the code away for you guys. But this should be simple, but I want you guys to include the subroutine that we have learned today. And yeah, that should be it. And apart from that, guys, I think that's it for this week. If you guys enjoyed, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And of course, the answer of this week's challenge will be in the comment section. So be sure to check it out and compare it to what you've written. Everyone's is going to be a bit different, but I feel like it should be a bit similar. But we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.